We have the very first Andy Farrell Lions team to get our teeth stuck into. What does it tell us about the way Andy Farrell is going to be setting up his team, how they might play against Australia, the kind of rugby that we might be seeing, and what combinations we might be looking out for when it comes to test time? That said, it's not a great surprise who's actually been picked for this game on Friday night against Argentina because, 15, 16 guys have only just joined the squad, and unsurprisingly, they are not involved. But lots to talk about. And it's a pretty tasty Argentinian team as well. So please, your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm getting quite excited now. It's sort of crept up on us all of a sudden, hasn't it? I wasn't ready for this because the domestic season, I was focused on that. And then bang, we've got Lions tour in a matter of days. Well, 48 hours from now as well. That is the British and Irish Lions team. What do you make of it? I mean, I speculated the other day what the team might be, and it's exactly that side, with the exception of, I thought maybe Daly would start at fullback and Smith on the bench. It's the other way around. Other than that, it's exactly the team that I speculated might be there, with the exception as well of Tadhg Furlong, who is in the matchday squad. Now, that's an interesting one in and of itself. I mean, the headline here with the squad is pure power. And let me just plant a seed, and you have a think right now, because I've been thinking about this. Can you think of a bigger backline than that at the elite level? I'm struggling. I'll come back to that. On Tadhg Furlong, do you think this means that he could have played in the URC final, but Leinster either had enough depth that they didn't think they needed him, or said to him and made an agreement with him, I know you could play for us this weekend, focus on getting fit for the British and Irish Lions? He is in the twilight of his career. It would be fascinating to know what the ins and outs of that are. I mean, a week ago, John Dayell says, got no concerns about Tadhg Furlong. We're managing his calf. Maybe Leo Cullen and the coaches said, it's all right, mate, you focus on the Lions. We've got this. And they were right. I mean, it would have been, if Furlong had been picked in this game and Leinster had lost, I imagine Leinster fans might have been going, hold on a second. As it is, they smashed the balls, and Thomas Clarkson has probably put himself in the shop window to be the next cab off the rank at tight head prop if someone gets injured. And that is probably the first thing to say. There's a game on Friday night. The plane leaves for Australia this weekend. And, I mean, there's every chance that someone won't be on that plane because they'll get a knock in the game on Friday night. So first and foremost, I hope everyone makes it on the plane, because this is not a test match, and everyone wants the opportunity to compete for a test match cap, which is something very, very special. Getting on the squad is amazing, but playing against the Wallabies is going to be next level. So, yes, the thing that jumps straight off the page there, as I talked about the other day, the prospect of Bundy Aki and Sione Tuipulotu in the centre. I mean, inject that power straight into my veins. Bundy Pilotu, or is Aki Pilotu better? I mean, neither of them are as good as Huey Pilotu, but we'll live with it. I'm so fascinated to see what this looks like. I mean, yes, it is pure power. However, obviously, Sione Tuipulotu, brilliant distributor. And for that reason, I know they're wearing, Aki's wearing 12, Tuipulotu is wearing 13. Mark my words, they will be switching in and out. Sione Tuipulotu will be stepping one inside to be a distributor, exactly the same way as Juan Ignacio Brex and Tommaso Menoncello. Brex and Cello, they do the same thing. They're 12 and 13, but they play the other way around for Benetton, 13, 12. So it's more fluid than that, and I'm really excited to see how that goes. Equally, you could, and this is what's quite interesting about this squad, now we can see an actual 23. We can start to say, what does this tell us about the way that Andy Farrell's going to set his team up? Now, I know there's a lot of players unavailable, so selection was kind of forced, but let's speculate because it's fun to. So he has gone with Tadhg Beirne at second row. There were only 3 locks available, so Scott Cummings on the bench. And look at the composition of the back row. I mean, that's not a set piece back row. That's not a line out back row. That is a on the ground, fast, breakdown, quick ball winning, opposition ball slowing down back row. Tom Curry, Jack Morgan, Ben Earl, 3 open side flankers. Seems to be a trend at the minute, and it's worked at times for England. And Other countries have done it. Australia aren't a million miles away from that with Bobby V and Fraser McWright. But I love the look of that back row. Is that how Andy Farrell is going to go? He has picked, let's not forget, 6 locks and 6 or 7, I can't remember, 6 or 7 back rowers and 6 locks. That says to me that he might be thinking when it comes to test match time, Tyg Burn or maybe an Ollie Chesham in a 6 jersey. I love the thought of just having a rapid back row. And when you add that to the fact, and another reason you can kind of get away with that, a little bit smaller, although Tom Curry is a beast. Jack Morgan is like made of granite, and Ben Earl is a tough cookie as well. But you can get away with that kind of speed and fleetness of foot and maybe losing a few kilograms on big guys like Jack Conan or Ollie Chesham or whatever the case may be. Because look at the size of the back line. Now, it does not lack any pace. Duhan van der Merwe and Tommy Freeman can shift. Marcus Smith's got great footwork as well. But how massive is that backline? I love it. I was trying to think of a bigger backline, and the only one I can come up with was actually the last time that the Lions were in Australia. Alex Cuthbert and George North on the wings. I mean, I think they're even bigger than Duhan van der Merwe and Tommy Freeman as a pairing, but it's pretty similar. And then in the centre, you had Jamie Roberts and Bundy Aki. If those two ran at each other full pelt, they did. They must have overlapped in their careers. That would have been like tectonic plate shifting. And Sione Tuipulotu is not small either. And actually, now I think about it, it was like Jonathan Davis. It was those 4 Welshmen, wasn't it? Jamie Roberts, Jonathan Davis, North and Cuthbert. It's along those kind of lines, those 4 players in the back line. So they've got the ability to just head down, run it hard. I also think what's quite interesting is the lack of kicking options in the back line. Marcus Smith, Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, the 3 Englishmen, the 3 kind of playmakers. Other than that, there isn't really a boot. That's why I wondered whether Elliot Daly would be in the starting lineup. Left foot, can absolutely launch it the way James Lowe does. Maybe you have him in your back line. And Andy Farrell loves to have lots of kicking options in his back line. Mac Hanson's quite a good footballer as well. Those guys are both on the bench, so they can flip to that kind of play. But this team says to me, they're going to have a crack. They're going to have a go. And I'm here for it. Am I reading too much into it? We're going to find out on Friday, but let me know what you think. As for the Argentinian side, it's pretty good. I mean, it is a weakened team. But it still looks pretty good, and that tells you everything about where Argentina are at the minute. They have got no shortage of motivation as well. They will hurt the fact that they're left out of the British and Irish Lions cycle of tours. And Australia, who are ranked below them in the world, and Argentina regularly beat these days, and they chalk up wins against South Africa and New Zealand as well, and Argentina are left out. And they won't. This hasn't even been designated a proper test match. So Argentina don't need any more motivation to go and take a scalp and make a point. And they would love it if the Lions win 3-0 in Australia, but they lose to Argentina. That in itself would make a big statement. They are, though, without Santiago Chocobares, Juan Cruz Malia, Mateo Carreras. That is 3 potential World 15 contenders in the back line, elite players. And then no Marcos Kremer, Thomas Gaggio, Guido Petti, Thomas Lavanini. You've got some pretty tough customers in the pack there. And the bench is where that lack of, how many is that? 8 players I've mentioned, and there are others. But those 8 players that I've mentioned, you take them out and suddenly the bench doesn't look very good. The bench is lacking experience. It's quite young and green. And then you've also got a guy who plays his domestic rugby in Argentina in the centre, Justo Picardo. He's 23. He plays in Argentina. He's a big centre, plays 12-13, and all he's played at international level is 22 minutes away in Ireland. So big challenge for him up against, which one are we going for? Aki Pilotu, Bundy Pilotu. Neither are as good as Huey Pilotu. So I make the Lions big favourites, although Argentina have the advantage of that cohesion, those combinations that have been tried and tested in rugby championships, autumn nation series, So we will see. I've done a combined 23-man squad. If you had access to all of these 23 Argentinians, all of the 23 British and Irish Lions, who would you pick? And mine looks like this. And the first thing to jump out at you is the bench, with all 8 being British and Irish Lions. The depth that the Lions have, even with all those players not there, whenever they send a team out against a Australian franchise or against, a national team, they're going to have top level players 1 to 23. And that's the biggest advantage they've got in this game against Argentina. Although I also think they've got a significant advantage. There were a few of those, two of those selections for Argentina, and I've only given them 4 in the match day 23. 2 of them were 50-50 coin flips as well. Joel Sclavi or Finlay Bealham. Sclavi plays his domestic rugby in La Rochelle and backs up Weenie Antonio, and he's just an absolute cube of a man. So I just nudged for him ever so slightly over Bealham, but that is 50-50. And Joaquin Oviedo, just nudging him over Ben Earl. And that's more to do with, that's not a comment on Ben Earl. That's more a comment on the fact that Curry, Morgan, Earl is a slightly lighter weight back row than some others. And Oviedo is a ball-carrying machine. And purely with that combination, I think that would be a slightly better combination, or more balanced anyway. In the back line, only Santiago Carreras gets in. And that was a bit of a 50-50, even though it's not Marcus Smith's first position. He's so good. I almost would want to have him on the pitch. But yeah, so 3 in the pack, 2 of which are coin flips, 1 in the back line, which is a bit of a coin flip. I think that tells you everything about where the talent is on the field. Can they go out there and deliver? The noises after a little behind closed doors practice game against Portugal seem pretty positive for Andy Farrell, but the time is coming. Of course, if they lose, they'll just say, well, it's not a proper test match, it's just a warm-up game. Argentina won't be having any of that. If Argentina win, they'll be bragging that they've beaten the Lions. And it would not be a great start for the tour. I mean, it's just good to get it underway. Hope everyone comes through fit. And I hope between now and Friday night, maybe they see sense with the price of some of those tickets, because it's costing an arm and a leg to get there. Fair play to the people that are either making the trip or heading there. It's nearly Lions time. Let me know what you think. I'm going to be covering the Lions right across the summer, of course, and the rest of the internationals. I'll be in Australia, in South Africa, here in the UK, and everywhere else in between, in amongst the fans, and on live streams and videos like this with you. And I would love it, if you haven't already, if you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of it.